Wow. You know when you think, oh yeah, it'll be a really good idea just to like sit and film like a really casual informal video, and then you look at yourself and you're like, oh, great. I would like to hope that I am a true representation as to what a lot of people look like right now. Like I'm fucked. I'm barely surviving. Hence the pineapple on top of my head, the lack of sleep and no makeup, with the loungewear. But you know what? I've got a bra on, so that's the peak. If I'm wearing a bra, I've got my shit together. I really don't. I literally just decided as I put Florence down for her nap that I am going to film a read with me. I don't think I've done one of these, or maybe I have, I can't remember. You know, I have. I think I've done it once before, and when I put out my recommendations that you would like to see when it comes to book content, a lot of you said that you wanted to see read with me's, and I've never done it because I do predominantly read at night, but when Florence has her afternoon nap, I try and get in a little bit of reading. In her morning nap, which I know she'll drop at some point, that's when I do peace school work. We sit at the table for like an hour, and Florence, like I said, has just gone down, and I started a new book last night, and I wanted to sit and just read the rest of it gradually over the next couple of weeks and share my thoughts whilst I read. I will look like this throughout the entire video. If my face offends you, I'm really sorry, it offends me too. But when I'm filming this, it is the 25th, I think, of January. And it's just basically been announced that schools aren't going to open until Easter, after Easter, which for me is the 12th of April. And if I think about that too much, I won't get out of bed tomorrow morning. So the fact I'm up and dressed is an achievement. And I'm still reading, so I just wanted something that would take my thoughts away from the shit that we're all going through right now. Like, it's really hard. I had a really hard weekend, and it just feels like a downward spiral, and to stop me from doing that downward spiral, I just need this. And that's a Paige Toon. Paige Toon is one of my favourite authors of all time, if not the most, like, top. She is a contemporary author. She writes like romance novels, and I just love them. My favourite one that I've ever read is 5 Years From Now. I've only got 3 that I haven't read, and I just love them. So I'm going to read you the blurb. This is One Perfect Summer. This came out, I want to say 2012. God, I'm good. Yeah, 2012. And it says, ever wondered what happened to your first love? Alice is 18 and about to start university, while Joe's life is going nowhere. A Dorset summer and a chance meeting, the two of them fall into step as if they have known each other forever, but their idyll is shattered unexpectedly. Alice heads off to Cambridge and slowly picks up the pieces of her broken heart. When she catches the attention of Lucas, gorgeous, gifted, rich boy Lucas, she is carried along by his charm and swept up by his ambitious plans for a future together. Years later, at just the wrong time, Joe is back, but out of reach in a way that Alice could never have imagined. Life has moved on. The divide between them now is so great. Surely it is far too late to recapture that perfect summer of long ago. I just need something to take me away from the shit show that's going on right now, in the sense of it's January, it's cold, it's horrible, like we had snow yesterday, and I just want like a nice summer read, and Paige Toon will never let me down. So I've gone for this one. I'm reading it, I started it last night. I'm reading it paperback and on Kindle, because I hate to say it, but I love reading on my Kindle so much. It's just my preferred choice of reading, but obviously when it's daytime I can pick up my paperback, and I haven't read a paperback in ages. This is going to obviously be a read with me, and there'll be spoilers, so just go into this video knowing that. I'm just going to quickly talk you through what I've read so far. So Alice is on holiday with her mum down in Dorset. They're down there for the 6-week summer holidays. Oh, I used to think the 6-week summer holidays was bad. 17 weeks in lockdown. You've got to laugh, if not you'll just cry, and I've done a lot of that. I cried so much the other day, I gave myself a headache. So Alice is on her holidays, and it's like the one before she goes to university, and her friend Lizzie was supposed to come with her and her mum down to Dorset, but her friend Lizzie's mum has found a lump, so she's had to go. Her friend basically couldn't go with them because she obviously had to be there for her mum for chemotherapy and things like that. They went to a pub and she just like clocked eyes with this guy called Joe. And I'll also quickly mention that at the start of it, it says when I was 18, so we're obviously, it's then and now sort of thing. So she meets Joe and they just strike up like a nice little romance. So her mum was like, oh, do you want some company, taking your dog for a walk? And she was like, no mum, don't do that, like really embarrassed. And then she ends up bumping into him, and then they just have like this little summer romance. They go on a little date and he's got a dog called Dyson, and it's just from what I've read so far, it's really sweet. My giggles dissolve and I steadily meet his eyes as butterflies swarm into my stomach. God, I fancy you, he says. Like, it just feels quite young, like that sort of stuff. Like it's just very sweet. I really like it so far. She's a virgin and I think he is too. It's just like a nice little summer romance from what I've read so far. So he sort of shows her around. He's got a troubled relationship with his family. He works at their pub and he's paid cash in hand, but he still has to pay rent, and he's trying to save up some money just to get away because he hates his parents and his brother's in jail and his brother's about to come out. That's as far as I'm at. I'm really enjoying it. Paige just has such an amazing writing technique to make, I don't know, you just feel chemistry for the characters, and that's why I love her books so much. Lizzie comes to spend the weekend with her, which I think I just read up to that part, and it's nice to see them back again, and she gets to meet Joe. Also met her mum and dad, obviously she's on holiday down in Dorset with her parents, and yeah, they've been, like I said, they've been on a couple of dates. They've been to like some castle and to a national trust. And if you aren't aware, Paige Toon, if you go on her Instagram and look through her highlights, she has like her, what is it called? Like her research pictures there. So you can actually see like, oh, we went to this place, and it's like, oh, that's what you're talking about. Like, oh, well done. Right, I'm gonna stop talking. I've been talking for 8 minutes. I'm gonna go heat up my tea. I'm gonna try and read for as much as I can before Florence wakes up. P wants me to go and sit with her, so I said I'd just quickly do this intro, and I'm gonna go sit in the sitting room with her. So I'm gonna go do that now. We've also had a little change about in the dining room. I don't know what room I'm in. I'll quickly show you that, and then I'm going to go and sit with Deuce. Done. What do you think? It's not going to stay like this. We just had to put the sofa bed out for yesterday, and I can't be asked to change it back. So this is what it looks like for now. I enjoy it. Just mixing it up. The toys on the floor. When are they not on the floor? And also my mug of choice is this Cath. I definitely need to put that in the microwave because it's cold. Again, typical mum issues. swear, like, as the day goes on, my hair just gets worse. This was in a nice, like, top knot this morning. So it's now 4:30, so I've been reading for a little while. I've just been playing a game on Peace's phone. She does, like, she's got this weird, like, is it called Smushies? She's engrossed in it. She's got a game and you have to, like, help her get up some levels and get presents and stuff, so I've been helping her do that. But I have just finished the 18 section of the book of the summer holiday, and so much happened. So like I said, Joe's brother Ryan was in prison and he came out, and Joe, ever since Ryan came out of prison, he was, like, acting really obviously off. He was scared for himself and for Alice because he's got a violent past. Turns out he's not a very nice guy, and he abused Joe and hit him in the back of the head, so he had to go to hospital. So we see that happen, and then Joe doesn't press charges or doesn't say anything and just goes along with the story that he fell down a flight of stairs, which isn't the first time that's happened. And then he's with Alice at the, like, holiday home.
Oh, I got a cute one.
He's playing a game. Let me see.
Bunny.
You got a bunny? Let me see. Let me see. Let me see.
It's a pink.
Oh, I like it. Cute. I still like your purple cat.
Do you?
Yeah. And then they're at the holiday home with Alice and her family, and then the dog got attacked with a rock, and it was just really sad because Joe loved Dyson, and then he was like, just do whatever you can to save him. You got a panda, well done.
And a bear.
And a bear. Yeah, Joe's been saving up all of this money so he can go and move to London and get a car and, like, get on his own 2 feet on his own. And then he had to pay for the vet bills, and the dog died anyway, and it was just really, really sad. And he couldn't afford to cremate Dyson, so they had to dispose of the dog, and it was just really sad, and it took a turn. I knew obviously things would end from the blurb, but it just ended on, like, a really horrible, sad note, and I'm loving it. So I'm now up to, what page? 137, I think I'm at. Hang on. I'm reading it quite quickly.
I got another egg.
You've got another egg, have you?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Right.
133. I'm on chapter 19. And it's where she starts university. It says 6 months later, and she's really struggling with heartbreak and things like that. So 6 months on? Yeah, 6 months later, so she'll be either 18 and a half or 19. I'm now going to go and start doing dinner. Hopefully I'll be able to check in with you later. I hope you're enjoying this format of video. It's not something I ever thought I would do, but I just really enjoy my book videos, and I don't really want to film my day-to-day life at the moment because it is boring. I need to have a hair wash tonight as well. Whilst the children are playing, I thought I'd quickly update you on how much I managed to get read last night. I've just flicked through because I was reading on my Kindle. I got up to 175, chapter 26, and it's so good. It's so good. Paige Toon just always, you can always rely on her books. Sorry, I look like this, I've literally just woken up. So I read, so she's now in Cambridge. She was walking along the river, and she made a joke to a guy about bumping his head on the bridge because he was punting on the river as his job, Jesse, and he started calling her China. And I love the relationship they've got. Like, it's purely platonic, and it's really nice to see that, like, she's getting on her 2 feet and she's not a recluse, and, like, she's struggling but she's getting there, and it's really nice to see. She's got, like, this lovely friendship group, not inside university but outside. She's got her job on the river doing her punting, and then you just see her, like, getting on with life and going to university and having that relationship with Jessie in like a friendship way is really, really nice to see. And I love like the little nicknames that they've got for each other. And then we see that she walks into a cyclist or something, and then some guy with a foreign accent comes over and is like, oh, you need a cold compress, and she's like, I'm okay, like, you're a weirdo. And then when she's punting on the river, because it's obviously her job, she bumps her head on the bridge, and then this guy comes out from nowhere, the one that said about the cold compress. I don't think we know his name yet. And then he's like, oh, it's me again, sort of thing, like, take my hand and I'll help you, sort of thing. I'm really enjoying it. And then she got legs, even though he said that he would help her, and like he went off to go and get help, and then she just ran away because she saw Jessie. And then I think that's as far as I'm up to. Lizzie has come down from Edinburgh because she's studying at uni. Her mum's okay, in remission. And they're going out into a nightclub, and they just bumped into, or they didn't bump into him, but they saw this guy, this cold compress guy, in the club. And that's as far as I'm up to. It's just so light-hearted and so lovely. And like I've said before, Paige just smashes writing characters and dialogue. And when she bumped her head, like, I actually laughed out loud. And he was like, what are you laughing at? I was like, oh, just my book. So that's where I'm up to. I'd like to hope that I can get some reading done this afternoon, but Neil's working nights now this week, so whether I will or not, I don't know. But so far, so good. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. So I read quite a bit last night. I didn't manage to get any reading done yesterday in the daytime, but I read quite a bit last night because, like I said, Neil's on nights this week, so I just went to bed nice and early. I actually get the morning off doing schoolwork because Neil, like I said, is on nights, so he is now sat at the table with P. It's now 11 o'clock, so he's sat at the table with P just doing a little bit of like schoolwork, so I get to sit and read in silence while Florence has her nap, which is such a luxury. So where did I get up to last night? I got quite far in, so we have just been exploring her in Cambridge, and it's really lovely to read. I love the friendship group that she's got. She's living, I can't remember what I said previously, she's living with Jessie in the house. She didn't go home for the summer. She's living with Jessie, and she has got a flatmate or a roommate called Emily as well, and they're now really close. I've got a feeling that Jessie's got a thing for Alice, but time will tell. But I think he has like deep feelings for her, but then again I also think that him and Emily are going to end up together. And we've just been exploring the relationship between Alice and Lucas. Obviously she hasn't been with anyone since Joe. It's been like, has it been a year, I think, since they initially met, as in Joe and Alice. So we see them bump into each other, and they went and had lunch at Trinity College, which is like the university in Cambridge, but like the posh one. We met his friend called Harry, who's really eccentric and really posh, and I really liked him. I liked seeing that like additional like secondary character. It made me smile. We saw them go on a date, and when he went to go and pick her up, there was like a Porsche outside. No, we saw them go for a drink, and then he took her out for dinner, and there was a Porsche outside, and she was like, a Porsche? And then he took her to like a family friend's country holiday home, like on the outskirts of Cambridge, and like it was really romantic and things like that. And then he like freezed up, and like was quite stiff, and we find out that his family is obviously of money and quite wealthy, but he doesn't seem very pompous, which I really, really like. And then what else has happened? What else has happened? Because he freezed up, she was annoyed at like how he acted towards her, because he was quite blunt. And then they went and had like drinks, and they went and played pool with his friends, and then she went back to his house, and I think they slept together. It wasn't too clear, and that's as far as I got. I'm just absolutely loving it. So I'm now going to sit down. I've got a coffee because it was a long night last night. I did 2 night feeds, and then this morning Florence was choking on toast for like a good hour. I think she scratched all of her throat, so she hasn't had any breakfast. This is supposed to be a reading vlog, but I'm also sharing about how shit my day is at the moment. Yeah, it's just been a lot. So I'm now going to sit and read as much as I can. Right, so I'm in bed and I'm going to talk a little bit quiet because I don't want to wake Florence up, and I know she'll wake up soon. So, what's happened? I can't remember when I updated you last. They had Christmas. She got given a diamond necklace, did I say that? She is thinking about Joe more and more, and there are things that she's picking up with Lucas that she doesn't like his behaviour, and sometimes he's quite direct and quite snappy, and she doesn't like that. And I'm now 58% through. I'm now reading on my Kindle, and so it turns out that he's basically got sort of like an arranged marriage with one of his like lifelong childhood friends. He's not engaged, but it's sort of like what his family are expecting of him, and he's told his family that he's met Alice. I'm talking about Lucas, by the way. And it's just spiraled and gone downhill very, very quickly. I did not see this coming at all. I really liked Lucas to start with. I thought it was quite witty and to the point, whereas now, I don't know, it's just what Paige does with her writing, and it's great. Yeah, I'm interested to see where it goes. He seems quite controlling, or is he just uptight? I can't figure it out. I know it's not going to end well for these two. And then we also find out that he slept with someone before they were together, but it was in between, like after they met, and before they had like their little dinner date sort of thing. And he keeps, and she said, "Is that why you acted like you did? You didn't kiss me, you drove too fast, you seem angry. Were you thinking of her, the girl for the arranged marriage?" That's what I've just read. He hesitated before nodding. Yes. What about Christmas? No, nothing happened then. And then Jessie comes in and asks if everything's okay. Very interesting. Right, I'm going to stop talking. If I have anything to update you on, I'll do it. I have come to bed because I haven't got anything to watch. I've just finished watching it's called Fate, but it's also called the Winx Saga or something. I finished watching that yesterday, and I've literally just been sat on the sofa for an hour and a half just scrolling on my phone, watching stupid videos on YouTube. What else have I been doing? Just literally wasted. Wow, what an angle. Let's sit up. I've literally just sat and wasted an hour and a half of my life. But hey ho. So I read a bit this morning. I'm so sorry about my appearance. I mean, I know it's lockdown, but is that really an excuse to look like this? Anyway, I read some more this morning. I read last night and I read this morning, and I haven't filmed anything. They moved in together, and I really liked Lucas, and now I don't. I just don't like his behaviour. I did say that he felt quite controlling, and now he's really controlling. I didn't like his behaviour when she was doing like that. There was like that club that she was doing with some people, and he was outside like beeping his horn on double yellows in his fucking Porsche, and I was like, she didn't ask you to go and pick her up. Who are you? Like, she's her own person. Like, stop trying to control her. But I honestly believe that it's just a cultural thing. Like, he's German, he's of wealth, and he's just a completely different person to her. And as much as there was like that initial attraction, I think as time and the years are going on, like, you can just see that it's not meant to be. Did I say last night he proposed to her? I can't remember. Either way, he proposed to her. And then she said yes, which I didn't think she would. And then she went over and like met his family, or they spent Christmas together or something, and then he proposed to her. That was it. My bloody bed light is poking up. This is the one that I got for Christmas. Love it. And then we see like the wedding planning happening, and he's really rude about her friends as well. Like, he's rude about Jessie, he's rude about, is her name Yasmin? I can't bloody remember, I'm really sorry. I'm not very good at doing like book vlogs. And then there was like, she basically didn't get to plan any of her wedding. She wanted Emily to be a bridesmaid, and he was like, no, pretty much. And she ended up getting her dress made by the person that made the one for like the ball and stuff. I don't know, I just get really bad vibes. And then on the wedding morning, her friend was like, you need to see this. And it was a DVD, and Joe was in it. I knew something happened, in the sense of Joe comes back on the scene, because Paige Toon has this tendency to write in characters from previous books in her newer releases. So for example, characters in Lucy in the Sky are featured in Pictures with Lily. Characters that are in Chasing Daisy are featured in Longest Holiday. And characters that were in this book that I'm reading, One Last Summer, or I don't even bloody know the name, were features in her newest release, which was The Minute I Saw You. So I knew who she ended up with, which really pissed me off. So maybe if you read Paige Toon books, read them in publication order, I guess. I hate having to do that. So I knew that Joe comes back on the scene because they feature as a couple in that book. But for some reason I thought he was like a musician, but apparently he's not. Apparently he's an actor. And so the chapter that I finished up on this afternoon or this morning, whenever I was reading, was she walked down the aisle. Because it had skipped from 18 to 6 months, so I think it was like 18 months in advance. Then they got married, and I think it's now skipped to 3.5 years in the future. So I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to try and smash it out and get it done tonight. Not that I want it to be over and done with, but I just, yeah, 3.5 years later. How much have I got left? I'm on 71%, hour and 55. I'm not going to get that done tonight, I don't think. So I know that the marriage isn't going to last, and I know she's going to end up finding Joe again. I don't know the implications and how it's going to happen, but I just feel a bit like, no, it's sort of ruined it for me now. But I'm going to enjoy it all the same. It's still like probably going to be a, oh no, have I woken up a baby? God, I hate myself. I think I'm talking too loud. Anyway, I think it's going to be a 5-star, maybe a 4.5, I'm not too sure. I'm going to stop talking because I don't want to wake Florence up. I don't want to deal with that. I'll come back with my thoughts if I have them. But for now I'm just going to sit and hug my hot water bottle because Neil's at work and get lost in my book. You're just going to have to see me with Kindle Light. I apologise, her name wasn't Yasmin, the best friend, it was Lizzie. I ain't got a bloody clue where the name Yasmin came from, but it was Lizzie. Just a little clarification. Okay. I've just read a little bit where it shows how controlling Lucas is. So he called Alice, and she diverted his call, and then she answered it when he called again. What happened there, he asks irritably. Sorry, I pressed the wrong button, I fib. When are you coming home, he demands to know. This afternoon. I might come and pick you up, he says. No, I've got a return ticket for the 3 o'clock. I'm catching up with Lizzie and Ellie today. Didn't you do enough of your catching up yesterday? I'll see you later. Lucas, I say firmly. Silence. Love you, I add. Bye, he says shortly before hanging up. She's on like a girls' weekend with her best friend and her best friend's daughter. Like, fuck off. No, I know that this is like how the author wants us to feel, but just go away. Another couple of pages, he's fucking turned up to pick her up. Alice, I turn around to see Lucas standing beside his silver Porsche. What are you doing here, I gasped. I went for a drive, he replied. I thought you might like a lift after all. She said no. Why can't he listen? I can't. Okay, I turned my little light on so you can see me. It's getting really, really good again. 82%. And shit's gone, like, hit the fan with Lucas. He's basically accepted a job in Germany and just expects her to follow. I just really don't like his attitude. And like just the way that he is towards Alice, I really don't like it. She has now discovered that Joe is like not up and coming, but he was, and now he's like a really big actor, starring in loads of films. And then there was a film premiere and she went to it in her clothes that she wore when she first met him, and he didn't clock her, obviously. And then he did a TV interview, and the interviewer was speaking about his relationships and like his first love, and the interviewer was like, oh, you've never really been in a long-term relationship sort of thing, and Alice missed it, so her friend recorded it, and then she was like, come over, you need to watch it with me. So they were talking about it, and then the interviewer was like, oh, like what's her name? And he says Alice, and like they go into the details sort of, and then he was like, if your name's Alice and you knew Joe, like call into the show, and we'll put you back in touch sort of thing, and her friend does it on behalf of her. And then Joe's just called, and it's just, oh, almost cried. It just feels really nice. So I'm now at the part where she's getting ready to go and meet him at his hotel. I just, oh, it just, even though I knew like how it was gonna pan out, like it just feels great. I've been picking up my lips. Oh. I've just finished my book and I'm really, really annoyed. Really, really annoyed. It was so good. They found each other. She went to the premiere. I don't even know what I said like an hour ago. Oh, of course I've gone blue. Hang on. They found each other. They went for the chat in the hotel, and then they went to meet up in Dorset, and he wanted to buy the cottage, and they like relived everything, and everything was brilliant. And I was there, and it was so nice. And she obviously betrayed Lucas, which I don't necessarily agree with, but c'est la vie, he was a prick. And then Lucas rocked up. The decision was made that she was obviously going to be with Joe, and she was like, right, I've got to go and like sort everything out, like it's not fair, I need to go and explain myself. And then it went to the epilogue, and I just, why do that massive build up for that one point to then be like, cool, like I'm done? That's really annoyed me. I'm going to give it a 4-star because of that. I wanted more depth, I wanted more exploration, I wanted to see them navigate a relationship together, I wanted to see her experience like the fame and stuff with being with Joe. We've never seen them in like their adult lives being together and being in a relationship. We've only ever seen them like young 18-year-olds. We've never experienced that. And then for it to be like, we're on a hill in Dorset, I don't need to turn around to know that he's behind me and say I love you sort of thing. Like I just, that's really bothered me. I just like 2 chapters would have done. Like could have done like another jump to be like 6 months or a year on, and then like another epilogue. Like I would have liked to have seen her like go on the TV show, like she says in the book, like this is my Alice. I would have liked that, and we didn't get that, and that's really annoyed me. I'm gonna wrap up this reading vlog here. I've been messaging my friend Rosie on Instagram as well about it. I hope you all enjoyed this reading vlog. Let me know if you want me to do them again. I really like the concept, but I forget what I say. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. If you've read this book, leave me a comment below and let me know what you thought. Let me know what you're reading currently. Apologies about my appearance throughout this whole thing. Apologies about the lighting situ now. Do I look better in the dark? Yeah, I look better in the dark because no one wants to see my face. Just put that there. No, let's not. Down light. Yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this awful vlog. I don't know what I'm going to read next. I have no clue. I need to pick another book because if not I'm going to be in a slump, and I'm on a good track. I want to say it's my 4th book and it's almost the end of January, so I'm fucking killing it. Like I'm doing really well. I'm gonna go. I'm really annoyed. It's 5 to 11 and I was about to say I'm now not tired, but now I'm yawning. So I'm just gonna look on the Kindle store, even though I've got 43 books in my TBR thing on my Kindle. But I'm gonna go, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.